What's going on, guys? Welcome to my first ever NHL 25 franchise mode series. I had a poll on both YouTube and Twitter. Kind of funny, honestly. The Ducks won on YouTube, but the Penguins won on Twitter. So as you saw by the title, we're going to be the Ducks in this first series. I'll be the Penguins in the next one. And before I forget, guys, if you could, please leave a thumbs up on this video for the first franchise of NHL 25. It really helps me out. Obviously, guys, excited to try all these new franchise mode features coming this year. We got no trade clauses. We got the conversation system, player negotiations, award tracking, tons of good stuff to look forward to. I think, too, with being the Ducks, obviously, I'm very excited to actually have the Mighty Duck logo back on this team. They went from having arguably the worst logo in the league to now having arguably the best logo. So I'm very excited for this. Very young team, clearly, still in that rebuild stage. So should be looking to get, high picks, prospects, all that good stuff. As you guys can see here, we're 85 overall. We actually are 1 overall higher than the Sharks, but that is it. We're tied there with the Flames. If you guys are curious about all the team ratings, this is obviously what EA's rosters are. I haven't touched it at all. Want to make sure I can get this video out for you guys. I think actually the only changes I made to the roster were adding all the latest extensions they didn't have. So for instance, Dylan Gunther I've added. You guys can actually see in the player creation screen, you can actually add those modified no trade clauses, which I just think is so cool. So as always, guys, for the settings, owner mode getter turned off. We have salary cap on. I think the only other thing we'll have on actually is computer trades. And as always, guys, gonna have injuries here turned off. Obviously, it's a little bit better now with the conversation system. The lines don't get messed up as much, but I'd still just rather not have to deal with it. I prefer just, if everyone's healthy all the whole time, it's fair. Draft pick ownership there is authentic. Same with authentic cap penalties. And now for the franchise mode length, guys, I'll leave it on 25. But for this series, I'm thinking 8 years. I am really curious to see actually if this year, when you get to the end of franchise mode, if it just says, franchise mode complete, or actually will now show you some stats. Trade difficulty there will set to hard. Obviously, always up for that challenge. As well, too, definitely gonna have fog of war turned off. I just feel like it's better without it. And now in regards to Simmons and scoring, guys, I would definitely leave it on medium with the shot frequency at high, as I tested it out at a high, and I think they've definitely boosted it this year because there was like 10 plus players with 100 points before the trade deadline. It was definitely a little ridiculous. You want to leave that on medium. We'll have the draft class quality, prospect quality at low, just for the first 2 years, while there are obviously a bunch of, real life prospects you want going higher up in the draft. And then try and give us the most realistic sim possible. We're going to set the attribute effects there to 9 out of 10. You could go 10 out of 10, but I feel like 9 out of 10 just gives you a little bit more RNG like you would see in real life without making it, completely random. So Anaheim Ducks here, their first season back as the Mighty Ducks. I really wish they would actually just return to that name, but I'm guessing it has something to do with Disney or whatever. And I ready you guys have a look at the all new menu, of course, on the right side there. You got the stats, the standings, all ready to go. So love that. They've already got McDavid as the number 1. I think it must be like by rating by default, because yeah, McKinnon 2, Pastrnak, Makar, that would make sense there. So we get a look here, guys, at this team, see what we have to work with. Obviously, McTavish is going to be a stud for us. High top 6. I feel like he should be elite. Again, haven't adjusted any ratings or potentials. You got Zegras, Terry there. I think, obviously, Leo Carlson's going to be a beast. Having him on the 4th line is definitely interesting. Head coach preferred lines. That's where they're putting him. Okay, 83 medium elite. Below Isaac Lundstrom. So unfortunately, it looks like there still are some line issues in this game. Cutter Gauthier 4th line is a bit more reasonable, but obviously with elite potential, we want him playing higher up. Defensively there, we got some solid young players, Zellweger, Mintyukov. Of course, we have our captain, Radko Gudas, there on the top pair. I'm not so sure what the Ducks giving him the C. I'll leave it, but don't really see him as a long-term captain at all. Gibson, we definitely could look to trade, because I think, I am still trying to rebuild this team. Don't want to try and compete anytime soon. Now, speaking of that, guys, we'll take a look here at our assets. As you can see there, we do have a good amount of draft picks. No second, but a ton of mid-round picks. And obviously, the Ducks just took Seneca 3rd overall last year. Only high top 6 for the 3rd overall. I mean, that's going to make it a little bit tougher for us, but that's all right. And they also took Solberg here in the 1st round, Norwegian defenseman, so he should be a big part of our future. And in regards to free agency here, guys, I actually moved all the players that are currently on PTOs onto that team. Still, though, you got Shankirk and Schultz, they're 83s. Ryan Suter, I swear I moved to St. Louis Blues. Maybe they had like the max 50 roster spots, but I'll try signing him, then trade him to them. Asking here, of course, on a PTO with Ottawa, but he has no contract, so currently showing up as an RFA there with the Sens. After that, I mean, you got Blake Wheeler, Alex Nylander, Giordano, really not a whole lot. And in terms of goaltenders, you got Martin Jones, Halak, Subban, and then nothing. So what I'm thinking here, guys, we're going to try and bring Shankirk back to the Ducks. 83 overall is pretty solid. We definitely could use him in our top 6. Plus, if he plays well, can train with the deadline. We have $21.5 million in cap space. So even though he doesn't really have a high organizational interest, he does like our contract. I think we could honestly even pay him more money. We can like retain on it. So we'll give him like a 1 year, 2.5, literally double his ask. He says he'll get back to us in a few days. I do actually see we're at 50 out of 50 contracts. So hopefully Suter will say the same. We'll just offer him what he's asking. And then, like I said, I guess we'll have to trade away a couple guys here to make sure we have room for both of them. Now, the Oilers have the recently acquired Matthew Savoy on the block. I'm guessing he's got elite potential, though. Actually, it's only medium top 6. Okay, so that trade no longer as crazy, but still 2076, we can get him for the right price. Definitely interested. Actually, you know what, guys? Instead of trying to get Connor Geekie here from the Tampa Bay Lightning, I know the Ducks are trying to build like this big team, of course. You got Gudas as the captain, Gauthier the trade, Geekie there, 6'4" center, 74 overall, power forward. Tampa Bay Lightning have a couple million in cap space, so definitely going to be tricky to see who we can send back over the other way. They like Isaac Lundstrom here, 2481. I mean, honestly, I feel like we can definitely move on from him. The value is actually almost equal just with Lundstrom. And as I mentioned before, we have a lot of draft picks here, so maybe we throw in like a 4th with Lundstrom for Connor Geekie. This is on hard difficulty, but he's on the block. And trade's accepted. Okay, so a nice move for us. Now, we still actually did need to clear a couple roster spots, so let's see if we can do that. Mark Bishop here is one of the guys that's actually on a PTO with this team. Ross Johnson there, we don't need, I don't think, an enforcer that's that low rated. Honestly, I'm looking at like these bottom 5 guys, and none of them are really going to help us out. So, team with a lot of contract spots, be willing to take them on for like, you know, not much of a pick. The Avs, 42 out of 50, give us a 7th rounder, 2025. And they say yes, okay. And I have a conversation here, guys, with our coach. So I think it's basically just going to give us like the kind of goals for the season. So, season goal here, I'm thinking, honestly, we're trying to get a high pick. He says there's a lot of work to do before we can compete. So I could still say make the playoffs, but no, I agree. We're actually not really trying to do that. So I'll end the conversation. Basically, I'm letting them know, don't worry about winning too many games. More concerned here with getting a high pick. And there we go, guys. Ryan Suter accepts the offer again. Just going to immediately flip him to the Blues for like a 2037. Like I was saying, they must have been at like the max amount of contracts, and because he's 39 for whatever reason, he was the one that, you know, the game chose to cut off. And then Shattenkirk there actually comes back to the team, so that's big. Islanders here offering us 4th and a 5th for 3rd and Kachuk. I'd rather just have the 3rd, I think. And look at this, guys. We got another offer here for Kachuk, a 3rd and a 5th for a 3rd in him. So basically, it's a 5th. Also, we get a 3rd a year earlier. By 2026, maybe we'll actually be good. So I'm going to take this deal here with the Bruins. And we got that while simming through the preseason. As you can see, this Anaheim Ducks team, who I'm trying to tank with, is currently 6-0. Now, it is the preseason. Other teams obviously try and lower-rated players. In the preseason, I just, you know, try my best guys. I don't really care. So we're 6-0. I will show you actually what our team is looking like. Speaking of, you know, having our best guys out there. So again, I think the forward group has some depth. Still no star players as of yet, but I think a lot of young players can become them. So Zegras, McTavish, Cherry on the first line looks nice. We got Strome, Carlson, and Gauthier on the second. Kaloran, Fabry, Vetrano on the third, with Leeson, Colangelo, and McGinn on the 4th. Now, Colangelo here I could turn into a center with the new conversation system. Thing is, I'm not sure in the future if I'd rather have him be a winger or a center, although I guess I could add center as a secondary position, so maybe we'll go try that out. Defense here, Fowler, Gudas, Zellweger, Mintyukov, Dumoulin, and Shattenkirk. In terms of the power play, you can see the top unit there. Actually, not too bad. The second one there, you got Mintyukov, Zellweger gained some extra ice time with some other guys there. In terms of the PK, the first unit's actually Gauthier, McGinn, and Dumoulin and Gudas there should actually be like solid defensive defensemen. So I'm curious to see, like, is this team actually going to sim really well? In terms of the AHL team, obviously, Connor Geekie we just picked up. He's our second-line center. You got Pastujov there, along with Mishak, who's actually, you know, pretty good young players. Defensively as well, Jackson Lacomb's pretty good. Now, Leno, 77. Let's switch him with Vakanainen. I didn't realize just how bad that chemistry was. And so after those two, we now have Leno and Hellison second pair with Warren and Dionisio on the bottom. A lot of those guys have a good chance to make the NHL team in the future. Dance our AHL starter. Zachanik here backing him up. Fringe starter potential. Probably, you know, doesn't become an NHL goalie for us, but it's okay. As I mentioned too, probably going to be looking to trade Gibson in the future. And in terms of the ratings here, guys, for this team, as you can see, we have no zone abilities, but we're 87 offense, 86 defense, 82 goaltending. McTavish there, currently our highest rated player. So, like I said, objective here is to tank year one, but we'll see if we can actually make that happen. And actually, guys, I almost forgot, but right now we're looking at the contract situation. As you can see at the bottom, 22 million in cap space. McTavish does need an extension here. He's playing first line. He's only asking for 5.7 for 5 years. I'd like to get him actually locked up for like the next 8 if we can. Asking price at that point becomes 6.5. I feel like, you know, that's definitely very fair. Again, we're expecting him to be our, you know, first line center. Maybe it's Carlson, but a top 6 player for sure. So 6.5 for 8 years. No clause obviously makes it easier to trade him. And I'm curious too, let's see if we start a negotiation here, if we can actually maybe save some money. We'll try charming him here, which should work. As he's got like full organizational interest there, we'll say how we want to, you know, get a better deal here on the contract. I want it to be a max 8-year deal. He wants 6.52 million. We'll improve it because I'm actually fine with that. I just don't want a trade clause. Now he said we need to reconsider the terms on that. Maybe promises, making sure he's always a first-line player. And he said we need to reconsider the terms again. Okay, let's just end the conversation because clearly we're not, you know, giving him what he wants there. But I'm still going to try offering him that 8-year 6.5 because he does still have a decent amount of interest in that contract. Now, for Toronto here, we could also bring back. Thing is, if we are, trying to tank, maybe he's a good guy, honestly, to trade at the deadline. I don't really see him part of our future core. Same goes for Dumoulin, Fabry there as well. Now, Colangelo here playing fourth line would only want $1 million for 2 years. 4 years, he's still pretty interested in that deal. So let's try that. I think that could be a steal there for a solid fourth liner. And then Dossel here, probably our starter of the future. I just noticed low starter potential on him. I don't know about that one. So 1 year, 1 million. Let's do 2 years until he's an UFA. I guess, I don't know. Do we believe in him as our starter? 4 years, it's still only like 1.3, 1.4 million. What I'm thinking though is like worst case scenario, he'd just be like a solid backup for us, honestly, at this price. It's almost like a Logan O'Connor contract. Have you guys seen that? 1.5 million. So he's not too interested in 8 year. 4 year though, he's pretty interested in, so we'll try that. I'm waiting to hear back those offers we made, guys, and look at this. We actually beat the Oilers to improve to 7-0 in the preseason. Absolutely ridiculous. Dossel accepted the offer, okay. McTavish rejected the offer. All right, so we'll have to go back. Colangelo accepted. So the two like cheaper ones are done. McTavish, maybe we just honestly offer more money. Let's try a 6.75 with no move clause in the final 3 years. See what he says. And there you go, guys. McTavish said yes. So have our, first line center potentially locked up long term. Also, too, guys, in regards to the coaching staff, don't think I showed it. Our head coach here is A-. I'll just leave him for now. Hopefully, it doesn't make the team do too well. Same with the associate, the assistant. I'm not too worried about min-maxing it. Yeah, as obviously we're not trying to compete. And I just went through hiring new scouts, guys. As always, similar formula. You got the 2 Russians there with A+. Same with 2 Liga, 2 SHL. You got Extra Liga, Dell. 2 in the USA East, Central, and West, 2 in the Q, OHL, and WHL. We actually got a lot of pretty good overall scouts as well, some A's and some B's. Usually not the case in the first season, so I'm not sure if they switched that up, but look at the scouting, it's good. We're currently 2-2. We'll sim to the end of December here and see where the team's at. Wow, look at this, guys. Boston Bruins again doing us a bit of a favor. 2 third-round picks for a 4th or 5th, and Lindstrom. Lindstrom was one of the guys we had on a PTO. He's just in the AHL. I'll definitely take that upgrade in picks. Wow, okay. After trading for Lindstrom, the Bruins just put him on waivers, so I could literally claim him and just get a free pick upgrade. I'll decline, but definitely that's a bit of an issue there. And so now, guys, we're in December here with a record of 19-17. We're actually positive. I'm pretty sure we were negative too until like the start of this month, and all of a sudden I put together some wins. So taking a look here at the standings, we're actually 4th place in the division. Don't have a wild card spot, but we're right kind of in that bubble area. Ideally, we would start to lose some games. AHL team here, they're 18, or sorry, that's the San Jose Barracuda. They're 8-18-3, so AHL team not looking too great. Not ideal for a team that's obviously rebuilding. You want your AHL team to be doing good, but that's okay. Now, NHL team here, we'll take a look and see who our leading scorers are. So you got Trevor Zegras there with 35 points. Mintikov, defensive, he's got 19. Troy Terry leads in goals with 13. I'd love to love how you can see all of this. Cutter Gauthier there, rookie scoring leader with 15 points. All right, so good to see kind of Zegras leading that way. In terms of the entire league as well, Nathan McKinnon already has 65 points. And Jack Hughes here averaging over an assist a game. Now, this is a funny one, guys. Red Wings here trying to dump Justin Hull's contract on us. And they actually want us to pay them a 5th round pick. So Irishman there, definitely going to get declined. And now, guys, we have the San Jose Sharks here offering us Cody Ceci for 2 5th round picks. I'm going to say no to that one, but I will say we're in a bit of a Cinderella run here. It's almost the trade deadline. As you can see, our record's very impressive. 37, 23, and 1. Again, we actually started out the first couple months with a negative record, had a good December, and honestly, we just, kept it up since then. We're 3rd place in the division, 10-point lead there on the Golden Knights. Like, that is crazy to see. So at the deadline, originally I was going to sell. At this point, we got to keep, the team together, see if we can actually make some noise here in the playoffs. AHL team is what I was expecting the NHL team to look like. Absolutely terrible. So in terms of the AHL team, I actually don't think I checked last time. Their leading score right now is Harkins. In terms of the NHL team, is Trevor Zegras. He's got 60 points at the deadline, which honestly is really impressive. Mintikov's got 36 as a D-man. Gauthier 35. Looking around the league, are you kidding me? Okay, Nathan McKinnon, 113 points at the deadline. So the dude's going to put up like 130, maybe 140. Now, after him, pretty big drop-off. Rantanen 92, which obviously is still really impressive. Robertson there 81, but the rest of the guys look a lot more normal. McKinnon's just an absolute god right now. Wow, and John Gibson's actually leading the NHL in wins. So originally I was going to trade him. I figured, you know what, we'll wait. Trade him in the summer or something when teams need goalies more, and I think maybe it's going to pay off for us because I feel like his rating should go up after this season, but obviously, guys, next year we'll have to get to the trade deadline. I don't think I'm going to sell. I might even honestly add a little bit. We're going to be very smart about it. Not going to, give up any actual good assets, only like minor things like mid and late round picks. And now looking at the trade deadline here, guys, you got Eriksson X, the top player, 86 overall, followed by Chikrin, Deneau, Teravainen, Provorov, Domi, Moore, Granlund, Kuzmenko, Taylor Hall. I mean, I'm a big Taylor Hall fan. I'm trying to think, is there really a spot for him in our lineup? Actually, guys, never mind. I'm trying to trade for Taylor Hall, but as you can see, clause protected. I guess he doesn't want to go to Anaheim. Same with Kuzmenko there. We could trade for Granlund, but that's honestly really funny to see. Terrifying as well doesn't want to go to our team because we're not supposed to be good. We actually are playing good. Eric Sinek already traded, so yeah, we'll look around and see if there's a couple minor moves we can make. And now look at this, guys. I was taking a look at the defense to see if that's where we need to upgrade. Pavel Mintyukov is now up to an 87 overall. He's got 36 points on the year, as I showed you guys. 95 passing now, 94 puck control. That's just ridiculous. And Leo Carlson there, now an 88. Love seeing that from the young studs. All right, guys, we're trying to make a very small trade with the LA Kings, offering up again a 5th for Jeannot. Jeannot just a better 4th liner. Like you can see here, he's got 5-star physical. He's a grinder. In terms of like what you wanted your 4th line, I think he's going to provide more than McGinn. He's also actually making a little bit less money, although both on expiring contracts. Kings say yes. Okay, so I think, honestly, we got a really good price there. And now next, you guys, I'm actually trying to make a trade for Fedor Svechkov and the Nashville Predators. If you guys don't know, he's a pretty solid prospect, former first-round pick back in 2021. 2-way forward, looks to be playing pretty well in the AHL. I'm looking at him as like a future bomb 6 guy for us, someone that can really, help us out in the PK. I'm offering up a 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Value's a bit on our side. He's on the block. We might have to still add. We'll see. Trades rejected. Okay, yeah, basically wasn't good enough. Maybe instead of the 7th, like we have so many picks, let's try a 5th first, and if not, we can bump it up some more. Yeah, 2 5ths, quite often fair value. Okay, 2 3rds, 2 5ths for Svechkov. There we go, gets it done. I don't think we're going to get as good a player as that in those mid-rounds, so still pretty happy. And the trade deadline is now complete, guys. We actually got that last trade in just in time, I think like 5 minutes before it ended. And still, there's another one after us. Victor Olofsson there going to the Ottawa Senators with a 2nd. Some picks going back the other way. Let's see. Toronto there gets a 1st-round pick for Ekman Larson and Pacioretty. Oh, man, maybe I should have held on to those Leafs picks. I thought they were in a playoff spot. I think I was mistaken. Let's see. Jacob Chikrin goes to the Jets with Ethan Bear. 1st-rounder and Braden Yeager going the other way. My goodness. Our trade for Tanner Jeannot. You got David Kampf getting traded for Matt Roy and Taylor Radish. Interesting. Ty Voigt as well. Went to the Capitals. Chaz Lucius there goes to the Blues. They get back a 3rd. Kapanen and Suter. Jets need to do better than that. Eric Gustafsson there traded to the Devils. You got Kuzmenko to the Penguins. Trevor Moore there to the Utah Hockey Club. Lekkerimaki to the Golden Knights. Now he's got pretty good potential in this game. McNabb going back the other way with 2 3rds. Sam O'Reilly to Utah. Blue Jackets there got a 1st-round pick and Adam Henrique from the Oilers for Provorov, Corrali, Jack Johnson. The Leafs picking up another 1st-rounder for Max Domi. Blackhawks get a 1st-rounder for Tyler Bertuzzi, who returns to the Bruins. Pretty cool. Mantha returns to the Golden Knights for White Cloud. Red Wings get a 1st there for JT Comfort, Christian Fisher, Eric Johnson of the Hurricanes. Winnipeg Jets. Okay, so such an interesting trade. They also pick up Eriksson there with Freddie Gaudreau for a 1st, Colby Barlow, and 2 more. Wow. So honestly, I will say this trade deadline seems like a pretty realistic trade deadline in terms of what was being moved. Mostly it was 1st-round picks by obviously playoff teams. Not a whole bunch of like absolute stud prospects, but definitely some very solid ones. Logan Stanley. 1.25 million for 2 more years. 26.79. He's 6'7". Defensively, though, he's not the best. I think... Oh, man. Do we pick... I think we're in decline. I don't think I really need him right now. Curious to see blockbuster trades pop up. McTavish still wants a conversation. I'm not playing on the 1st line as promised. I think we might have found our first issue. Let me just check that. Oh, no, he was correct. Mason McTavish there. Play on the 2nd line. That's my bad. And actually, you know what, guys? He was playing 1st line. He's got 21 minutes a night. It was Carlson that was on the 2nd line, but after the trade deadline, with him being higher in rating, best line switched it up, and he immediately got upset before he even played a game. That is honestly pretty funny. And now in terms of the lines, guys, as you can see, of course, we are going to have Carlson as the 1C now, being 88 overall. McTavish, 1st line right wing, because he was getting upset there about the ice time. And then in terms of the 4th line, of course, added to it. Defensively here, Mintyukov's now in the top pair. He's playing with Shattenkirk. We got Gudas Fowler, the old 1st pair, now is the 2nd, with Dumoulin Zellweger on the bottom. Of course, goaltending, no changes. So special teams, pretty much the exact same, because like obviously Jeannot, not a special team player. And then obviously in the AHL, Svechkov is actually our 1st-line AHL center now. So that team is doing pretty bad. Maybe you can give them a bit of a boost. And check this out, guys. We're at the end of the season now with a record of 47, 33, and 2. Absolutely insane year for the Anaheim Ducks. Not really sure how we pulled this one off. We finished 3rd place in the Pacific with 96 points. Now that does mean we have to play the Oilers 1st round, but hopefully we can maybe pull off a miracle. AHL team. I wish you could have a 1st overall pick in the AHL because they finished dead last, 42 points there with a 16, 44, and 10 record. I mean, I knew they weren't that great. Like looking at it, you had a couple 70 overalls right on in the 2nd line, but I didn't think they were going to be the last place team. I think Svechkov there with 45 points actually might be our best player. Yeah, he is. So AHL team, I'm sure will be getting better via the draft free agency this summer. NHL team here. So wow, look at that. Nathan MacKinnon, 143 points. What a year for him. Followed by Rantanen at 125. You then have Robertson, Matthews, Pastrnak, Miller, Duchesne, all in the 100-plus point club. McDavid actually finished just outside it with 98. McKinnon, 69 goals, giving the Maurice Richard. Nice. Assist, though, goes to Quinn Hughes. Almost an assist a game. Goalie wins there was Thatcher Demko. But John Gibson finished in second. I definitely like how you can see all this on the main screen. And like I said, guys, obviously we finished third there in the division. Zegras the point per game for us, 82. Mintyukov at 51 points as a D-man. Obviously, you'll have to take a look and see how the rest of the guys did on our team. So after Zegras, guys, you got Carlson there with 72. Ryan Strome, 68. It's actually really impressive for ice time he got. McTavish, 66. Terry, 57. Mintyukov, again, 51. So 6 guys, 50 plus. Cutter Gauthier, 47. He has gone up in rating by 1. Hopefully this summer he'll grow even more after that. I mean, Zellweger probably wanted more than 32 points from him playing second power play, but not really the end of the world. And then goaltending here, Gibson, a 909, 3 goals against. Actually turned in a pretty good performance for us. AHL, Dank's numbers weren't too bad considering we were last place team in the league. And then, yeah, Svechkov was our best player, followed by Harkins. Only 2 guys with 40 plus, Geeky 37. AHL team gonna need some work. And like I was saying, guys, I already showed you the stat page before, but honestly, looking at this, it's pretty realistic. You have a couple guys popping off at the top, then you got a handful of guys just over 100, then after that, it's high 90s. Speaking of, Bedard there finished 1 point below McDavid. Incredible. So I think we know everything now except for the rookie skaters. And Celebrini looks like he'll probably win the call there, 52 points. Although Cutter Gauthier, 5 less points, and was that plus 32 difference, plus 12 to minus 20. Maybe he can sneak it out, actually beat out Michkov and Celebrini there. That'd be pretty crazy. They're the only 3 rookies that actually did anything. Maverick Bjork there, 19 points, is 4th in scoring. And he's actually tied with Colangelo, another one of our players. And in terms of the entire league here, guys, in the first year sim, you got the Canucks there with the President's Trophy, 121 points. Just going to quickly go through, you guys can see kind of where everybody finished up. Toronto just missed, so that's a bit of a surprise. Same with the Devils, honestly. And then last in NHL, the St. Louis Blues, 69 points. I don't think they make the playoffs last year. I also don't think they get last. Goals for the Avs were first. I don't see us anywhere, nor are we at the bottom. And then goals against the Canucks were the best. I don't see us. And we're also not the top. So pretty much, middle team that got lucky in a weak division. And all of a sudden, we got to play the Oilers here in the first round. So like I said, guys, hopefully can get lucky, kind of like the Ducks 2003 Stanley Cup final run. Obviously, they ended up losing it to the Devils. But just the fact that they did go on that run was honestly so impressive. So again, guys, we got the Edmonton Oilers here. I'm pretty sure their team is the exact same. So we'll get started here with the playoff sim. First 2 games are in Edmonton. And we get a 6-2 win in game 1. Followed up by a 3-1 win in game 2. I don't know how we're doing this. Headed home to Anaheim. Now, I have noticed the playoff simulation is a little bit slower. Hopefully, that'll be fixed in a patch. Game 3 is a 4-2 loss. Game 4 is a 4-3 win. All of a sudden, we were up 3 games to 1 on the Oilers. This is crazy. Game 5 now, heading back to Edmonton. And we get a 3-1 win to take out the Oilers in 5. Let's go. And on the second round, guys, we're matched up with the Vancouver Canucks. You can see they got Petey, Miller, Besser on that first line, so they're going top heavy. They made that trade for Max Domi, playing on between DeBrusk and Garland there. They got Sprong playing up on the third line now. I think that's pretty much it. Defensively here, they actually added Braden McNabb. Okay, so some moves here by the Canucks are already a strong team. Demko, of course, 91 overall. Pretty highly rated there, so we'll see what we can do. I was surprised we made it by the Oilers in round 1. If we can make it by Canucks in round 2, I feel like anything is possible. Now, of course, Canucks are going to have the home ice advantage, so first 2 games here are in Vancouver. We actually pull away 3-1 win, a 3-2 win. I don't understand. Game 3 now, back home in Anaheim. 7-3 loss. Okay, we get kind of smoked there. But then game 4 is a 4-3 win. So we're up 3-1. Been here before. If we can close it out in 5. And we do. 6-3 win. On to the conference final here. Year 1 with the Anaheim Ducks. Absolutely incredible. And we got another juggernaut next up here in the Colorado Avalanche. So now looking at the Avalanche here, guys, you got Gabe Landeskog on the first line. So I guess in this, he does come back healthy, which I think there is a chance of this season, so I don't mind it. And then he's playing there with McKinnon and Rantanen, who are absolute studs, finishing first or second in scoring this year. You got Nichushkin, Middlestat, Duran, Miles Wood there with the Wheels X Factor. I mean, that top 9's honestly looking solid. Defensively here, Taze McCarr, one of the best D pairs in the league. Manson, Girard, Shillington, Brandstrom. This team's looking pretty nice. Yorgi there, of course, still their starter. So I don't actually think the Avs made any moves, which it kind of just shows you if they're a healthy team, they are forced to be reckoned with for sure. And look at the matchup stats here, which I totally forgot to look at last round. You can see the first two things are pretty equal. Then you get to the special teams. Avs are first there with almost 25% power play to our 3% power play, which is second last in the playoffs. And then the PK percentage there as well. They're second with 97. Well, we're dead last, 16th with 65. So again, guys, we don't have the home ice advantage. First two games are going to be in Colorado. Because we're in the conference final now, we'll sim these things period by period. I still can't believe we find ourselves here in year one with the Anaheim Ducks. Now, first period, we're down 2. Rantanen, Colton. 3-0, Rantanen again. Oh, wait, what? What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Rantanen had a 4-goal third period, and he had 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Rantanen just had a double hat trick on us. Game 1 conference final. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. All right. So after, feeling pretty good about ourselves, we beat the Oilers in 5, the Canucks in 5, Cinderella story brewing, and we lose 8-1. And Rantanen has a game putting up 6 Genos. Alrighty. That is interesting. Game 2. I don't really know if you come back from that one, but it would be pretty incredible if we can. So we're still in Colorado here. We're down 1-0. McKinnon actually gets a shorty. 3-1 now. McKinnon again. Zegras for us. Middlestat 3-2. Troy Terry pulled it close. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. So down 2-0 now to this Avs team, who again, obviously, had the 2 best players in the league this season. So really no surprise that they're lighting us up. But you never know. Maybe headed home to Anaheim. Our home fans can get behind us. Game 3. And we're up 2-0. Leeson and Troy Terry. 3-0. Jeannot, trade deadline acquisition. 5-1 we hold on. Zegras, Fabry. Okay. So at least we're not getting swept here. We actually do have a chance to tie it up. Like, I don't know. Maybe somehow we can come back in this thing. Game 4, period 1. 1-0 for the Avs. McKinnon. 3-1 now. McKinnon and Wood. Gauthier for us. And the score just stays the same, 3-1. So we have to win the next 3 straight. I don't really think it's going to happen. But, I mean, you never know. It's probably more likely we win 3 straight than it is that, Mikko Rantanen has a 6-goal game. So I feel like we still have a chance here. Game 5, guys, in Denver. And 0-0 after 1. 1-0. Brett Leeson, the 4th liner, just getting it done for us. 1-1, they tie it up. Okay, OT. And there you have it. Lehkonen, OT winner, sends the Avalanche to the Stanley Cup Finals. So I think we had a pretty good run there. After, like I said, after game 1, 6 goals from Mikko Rantanen. You knew we weren't in a good spot. And I actually want to take a look here too, guys, and see. So playoff scoring, you can actually take a look on the homepage at all the stats. You can see our team, or actually it's going back to the regular season. But in terms of the playoffs, even after the 6-goal game, McKinnon actually leads in points with 30, Rantanen 24. But then you go to goals, Rantanen there has 12. Half of them came in one game against us. Just ridiculous. McKinnon there averaging over an assist a game right now in the playoffs. And look at the absolute domination by Colorado this year, guys. They win the Stanley Cup and the Calder Cup. Good for them. Obviously, good sign for our team too. Losing the eventual champion. In terms of the draft lottery, St. Louis stays at 1. Minnesota jumps from 10 to 2. Montreal there drops down from 2 to 3 with the Calgary pick. So that, of course, the Sean Monahan one. You know what? I forgot. I should have changed that because in real life, that pick's going to stay with Calgary, and Montreal will get like the Florida pick, I think it is. So Montreal gets a bit more stacked than they should be in this, but at least I know to change that for the next one. And in terms of the playoff stats here, guys, you can see Troy Terry was actually a point per game for us. Zegras there was close with 13. Curious to see Gibson's numbers. 9-2-1 in the playoffs is actually really impressive. So John Gibson definitely had a bit of a return to form. Now playoff tree here, the Avs, they beat the Blackhawks in 7. I didn't even realize Blackhawks made the playoffs. Pretty crazy. They then beat the Jets in 6, us in 5, then the Tampa Bay Lightning there in 6. So you actually had a rematch of the 2022 Stanley Cup Final. How cool is that? And now in terms of the awards, guys, again, you have the Avalanche there winning their 2nd Stanley Cup in 4 years. In terms of individual awards, McKinnon, of course, the Art Ross Trophy, also wins the Hart back-to-back. You got Quinn Hughes with back-to-back James Norris trophies. McKinnon with the Lady Byng. Gauthier did win the Calder, so that's pretty cool. We have a Calder winner in year 1. McKinnon also got the Conn Smythe. What a year for him. Demko, Vezina, along with William Jennings. You got Celia there with Masterton. Philly coach Jack Adams, maybe Torts wins it this year. Crosby with a Selke, okay. McKinnon, Ted Lindsay, also there with the Maurice Richard. And then in terms of the AHL, as I mentioned, Colorado Eagle there won the Calder Cup. Matthew Savoy there, most points to the Condors. He also won MVP. Good sign for Oilers fans. Ostapchuk, most goals. Savoy there, best rookie. Grands was actually the best defenseman. Cal Peterson, best goalie. Wagner MVP of the playoffs. Savoy there, sportsmanship. Schmidt, community involvement. And then finally Murray there, lowest goals against. And now next you guys are take a look at retired players. I don't know like who's going to show up. Nick Backstrom, I mean, makes sense. LTIR essentially. Shea Weber, same thing. Trevor Lewis, Strawman. So really no one, too much of note aside from Backstrom. I guess Price too, but again, these guys already LTIR retired. And now next year, guys, we're going to the draft. Now, we still have our first round pick, which is good. Not going to be a high pick, but hopefully we can still, you know, find a bit of a steal. If James Higgins we had created, St. Louis would be getting him right now. But unfortunately, I did not make him. I just wanted to jump right into franchise. The next one will have hopefully a bunch of created players. So you got a made-up Vesa Toskala. That's kind of funny. Finnish center there. Similar to Patrick Kane. Russian there. You got Frondell, Porter Martone. You got Roger McQueen, Michael Misa, Malcolm Spence. So we're going to be picking like in the mid-rounds. Jordan Gavin, I actually know, is medium elite because I was taking a quick look at the ratings. Schaefer, I think, is medium top 4. He should be higher rated, though. So maybe we could potentially get somebody here. Gabriel Daigle, of course, should be a medium elite goalie. He's going late first round. So good to see goalies actually going a bit higher in the draft if they have that elite potential. Never mind, guys. I wasn't thinking right. We did make the conference final, so we're picking 30 there. Still, though, we could move up. Islanders at 13 have the pick on the block. That's what we're going to try and target here. So number 13. We could also trade Radko Gudas here. I feel like he'd fit on the Islanders. Again, he was our captain, but I feel like it's probably time for, say, you know, McTavish to take over. And now luckily Gudas will go to the Islanders with that modified no trade clause. I don't think this gets it done, but we'll try it. Yeah, trades rejected. Okay, let's try another thing. Try a second rounder next year, which actually has some value. Watch next year will be bad, but I think, you know, if we can get Jordan Gavin's elite potential, it's worth it. I mean, at this point, yeah, the value's way on our side. And there we go. Islanders do say yes. So first, second, Gudas. We move up to 13. We will just sim through the pick here, guys. And okay, I don't think Jordan Gavin got taken because Desnoyers just went. O'Brien, Reshny, hopefully I said that right. Malcolm Spence, Misa to the Kings, McQueen there, the Red Wings, Porter Martone, Parse, Coe, Frondell, Lyson, and then Toskala there. Such a funny pick from the Blues at number 1. So we're going to take Jordan Gavin. Like I said, I'm pretty positive I saw his elite potential. And he, oh no, he's medium top 6. I swear. What the heck? What was I looking at? I swear I saw he was elite potential. I don't know. I guess I messed up on that one, but hopefully it was worth trading up for. And actually, speaking of other prospects, guys, should take a look here. You got this Zykov goalie from the Ukraine. Could be high elite. I doubt it, but if he is, it would be absolutely amazing. And then in terms of gems, we got like 5 busts, 0 gems. So our scouts probably could have done a little bit better. So our next pick's actually not till 94. Maybe honestly we'll take that goalie we was just talking about because he's supposed to go like early 100s. Yeah, Zykov, yeah, let's take a chance. I think like he probably is at least, I don't know, high starter. And he is, 48 overall, but high star potential, late 3rd. It's not a bad pick at all. And our next pick here, guys, is going to be the end of the 5th. We're going to have a tough time, but never know. Maybe you can find a little bit of value somewhere. Halvardsson, I mean, actually, low top 6 guaranteed this late. I don't mind. Take Penner there, 51 overall sniper, low top 6. And now guys are picking at the end of the 6th round. Can still take this low top 4 here in Musil. Again, I think that's actually really good value. Like, probably won't turn out, especially at 48 overall, but it'll have a little bit of value. This next pick's really cool, actually. 222. Got to make sure this one counts. So, could get a guaranteed medium bomb 6 there in Kreutzer. I'm thinking low top 9's honestly not even worth it. Do we take a chance on Nichushkin? Probably isn't anything. But you never know. 7th rounder. He's a medium 7th. At this point, I mean, we're not even honestly that upset with that. And we actually had the last pick in the draft too. So, Mr. Relevant, who do we want to make that? Valerie McGillney. I mean, I love the last name. Take a chance on him. And he's a medium bottom 6 forward. All right. If he was like elite potential or something, that'd been absolutely sick. But overall, not too upset with that draft. Again, I'm not sure what I was seeing. I guess when I make my video looking at all the ratings, I'll take another look at Jordan Gavin. I swear I thought it said his elite potential. And now this is kind of funny, guys. Our entire AHL coaching staff needs new contracts. I'm going to let them all go because they were absolutely terrible. We finished dead last. The NHL coaching staff we can actually keep around, but not AHL. And so around the resign phase here, guys, we have $35 million in cap space, which is just insane. Zegras going to get paid, but not till next year. Same goes for Carlson there, Mintikov. They've all gone up in rating. McTavish there, we definitely lucked out and getting locked up. Mintikov actually low franchise potential. What a year for him. Terry Strom, I think also Strom's up a bit in rating. Shattenkirk we could bring back for the right price. He wants 5.25. I mean, he's an 84, but he's 36. I don't know. I think I'm going to let him go. We have the money, but I just don't think it makes sense. For Toronto here, again, for the right price, he wants 272. Okay, think about it. Sochikov here is 80 overall. Now, I think I'd like him to be our 4th line center. And then in regards to Toronto and Fabry, we don't really need both of them. Could keep one. Obviously, Toronto had a huge year for the Ducks. Real life last year, so maybe we'll stay low to him for that reason. I'm thinking probably just like a 1-year deal. He did want the 2. I mean, you know what? We'll give him what he wants. The 2 years at 2.7. Like, that is pretty cheap. He actually accepted it immediately. So the dude really wanted to come back. Now, in terms of the defense, like I said, Shattenkirk wanted too much. You got Dumoulin there, solid defensively, Zellweger. I think Lacombe makes the jump next year. We could go out and sign somebody else, though. So probably, again, only need one of these guys. Dumoulin actually wants to come back to the team. So I'm thinking we'll do that. Let Shattenkirk go. And Dumoulin, very reasonable ask. 3 years, 2.7. Let's see, 2 years. Doesn't like that as much, but we'll offer him a little bit more money. 3 years, $2 million. Pay him until he's 35. And again, Shattenkirk that will just let go. I will say, guys, one thing I really like is the instant accept offer. A lot of like the AHL players do that, so you just kind of don't have to wait, which is nice. And in terms of our goalies, Gibson, Dostal still under contract. It sucks Dostal, like the low starter. He should have at least had medium. Like he looked pretty good for the Ducks this year. Dansk will just let go. Could definitely get a better AHL starter. Even Zachanik could be it. Klang, 23, only a 70. Honestly, we can let him go. I think it makes sense for Zachanik. Hold him saying that right to be the AHL backup. I guess Claire there is just the third string. I probably wouldn't have signed him to that, but unfortunately, we'll have to keep him until we can trade him away. And now Dumoulin actually rejected the offer, guys. He said he's looking to continue his career on a team in a larger market. Interesting. So that's like a new response. I'll respect that. Brett Leeson, though, said yes. So I guess we're going to have to sign a couple new D-man because I already let Shattenkirk go, but I'm fine with that. We've got $32 million in cap space. We also need a top 9 forward. So definitely, got some money to spend here in free agency. Should be fun. All right, guys, so here we go. We're now in free agency. Gus Nyquist, potentially the top player, 87 overall. Even though we have all this money, there's really no one to sign this year. No big fish. As you can see, the best players there are second-line forwards, top 4 defensemen. Goaltending-wise, Fleury's there. I mean, if we wanted a better backup, he doesn't really have much interest in us, though. I think Dostal, again, should hopefully go up in rating, be that guy. In terms of the potential here for goalies, Jones, 73 overall at 24. Ooh, these guys are kind of old based on their ratings. Not really a lot of time left to grow. Now, 2A players, Fajimo, 77. He is 25. AHL team sucked, so we could definitely go out and get him. Maybe like a 2-year deal, 950K. He's actually an RFA, so probably won't get him. And looking around here, guys, most of these players aren't that good. They got Mason Primo here, is kind of decent, 23.75, medium top 9, but most of the players in free agency aren't that great, so that's actually good to see. Could give Antonio Stranges here a chance, 23.70. Obviously, a very, very good skater in real life. Also, Gushin, 23.74, low top 6. We'll try making him an offer here, 3 years, 900K. Jacob Lacko here as well, 25.76. Minnesota Wild just traded for him. I guess didn't want to keep him around, but we'll offer him exactly what he wants, 1 year, 900K. And he said yes, there we go. And now look at the players available, guys. I think Jamie Benn would be a nice fit for us. 86 overall, he's 35, but he'd be a good veteran for the young players on this team. He's got some X factors, of course, former captain with the Stars. Ideally, it's a 1-year deal, especially if we're not good this year and last year was a fluke. And then we can just trade him at the deadline, can definitely eat a lot of the contract. I would do like a 1 year, $6 million. I would even give him, he wants 4-team no trade. I would do like a 12-team no trade. See what he says to that. And in terms of defensemen available, guys, you got Pionk, Provorov, Cam York, who I believe should be, yeah, he's an RFA, 24 years old. That would cost us, I think, some first-round picks. Obviously, offer sheets are fun. We saw them this summer, but I'm curious, what would that cost us? We don't even have it. I think it'd probably be like a 1, 2, 3. Ryan Lindgren there. Could replace Dumoulin as the more defensive guy. 5 years is quite a bit, though. Again, Shattenkirk, I think, is a little bit too pricey for me. Dumoulin, 2.8. We know he doesn't want to sign with us. And Pedersen here, a former Duck, actually has quite a bit of interest in our team. So let's take a look at him. He wants 4 years, 4.7. I mean, he wants to play PK. I think he definitely will be. I don't really mind that. Pays him until he's 33. Make it, I don't know, just under 5, 4.95. We'll see what he says. And again, guys, Ryan Lindgren here, very solid defensively and physically. We already got our offensive guys, Mintikov, Zellweger, even Fowler's pretty offensive. So maybe you look at Lindgren, 5 years till he's 32. I don't really like the 4.7. He loves the contract, though, so maybe can make it a little bit cheaper. Again, he had no one interested either right now, so we'll see what he says to that. All right, guys, so unfortunately, Jamie Benn rejected our offer. He decided to go with the Winnipeg Jets, which is honestly good to see. I feel like before it was too easy to always sign free agents, so even though we gave Ben, extra money, better no trade clause, he still goes with Winnipeg. Fajimo there decides, accepts our offer as of now, but again, he was an RFA. Lindgren decided to join our team, so that's good. Pedersen there went with the Washington Capitals. Gushin joins our team, same with Stranges. So missed out on a couple guys, but that's actually, like I said, realistic, so do not mind it. Nyquist is still available if we wanted to go for the top player. Again, I don't really know what to expect from this team next year. I think this year potentially was just a big fluke. Now, Gavrikov, 83 overall, wants 2.9. That's actually really good. We got another defensive guy, play the PK for us. 2 years, he's only 29. I would go 3 years. He actually prefers 2, though. Okay, so 2 years, we have so much money. Let's give him, like, I don't know, 3.75. See what he says. And now Nyquist here is coming off a 66-point year. He wants 1 year deal, so we could get him And again, either helps us in a playoff push or trade him at the deadline. He wants a no trade clause though, which we cannot do because if we're bad, we have to be able to trade him. Let's give us like half the teams, 50%, and we'll offer him like 6.5. Flyers are trying to dump Ristolainen's contract onto us. Definitely a no. They were letting us move up like 1 round, but we also had to give them a 5th. Now the LA Kings matched Fajimo's offer, which I kind of figured. Nyquist accepted our deal. Okay, so like I said, very excited to see, can this team keep it up next year or do we fall back to the basement of the division? Nashville Predators offering us a couple seconds for Toronto, a 3rd and a 4th. I don't think that makes sense. Also, I think we're still waiting to hear back from Gavrikov. It's been like over a week, I swear. And I think I missed the pop-up, guys, but Gavrikov did say yes to our offer, so we actually are going to have our top 6 in stone now. Lacombe, most likely that 6th guy, unless like Leno or somebody else grows a ton. Also, too, guys, I wish our AHL team could use a starting goalie. Unfortunately, all these goalies are asking for like way too much money still. I think we'll have to wait on them, but in terms of the defense, maybe we can get some, you know, decent two-way guys. And now, you know what, guys? I just saw Corey Perry's available. We could bring him back to Anaheim. He's 40 years old. Honestly, I think he'll just be a healthy scratch all year, but he'll be there for the moral support. We got the contract spots. We got the money for sure. So make him the offer. He said yes. Back on the Ducks. Or actually, you know what, guys? He could just be like the AHL team dad. Speaking of, I mentioned how we want AHL defenseman. Corral here, 25.76. Isn't too bad. He would definitely be an improvement on what we got. Could use at least like a couple AHL D-man. So hopefully they'll say yes to that. Parker Weatherspoon, not too bad, 77. Again, just like a 1-year deal. AHL team was so bad. We need to get some bodies. All right, now let's start next season, guys. It's actually time to name a new captain. So like I was saying, I think in real life, McTavish, everyone was thinking would be the next captain. I'm guessing that'll be the case after Gudas, you know, retires, maybe steps down. So we'll give McTavish the C. We got Terry there rating A along with Fowler. Actually, they gave Fowler the C. Now, he has been on this Ducks team for the longest. I feel like if he was going to be the captain, though, they definitely would have given it to him now instead of Gudas. For that reason, I feel like it makes sense to leave Fowler there with an A and give McTavish the C. And now, guys, before we get started with next season, the coach is asking me what we should do. I'm thinking season goal here. He's saying make the playoffs. All right, I'm going to agree. Say go out there and try and make the playoffs. If he doesn't, I guess we have excuse to fire him. And now, guys, I'll show what the team is looking like for next season. Leo Carlson's down 89. Still has elite potential. I could see that definitely jumping to like a high elite, especially when he's playing on that first line. McTavish is an 87. Zegras also an 89 now. McTavish too worked out perfectly. He got the born leader X factor as we gave him the C. So hopefully he keeps getting better. Second line, you got Nyquist, Gauthier, Terry. Gauthier got some nice growth in 86. Hopefully get some X factors too. Only a role there, third line. So playing second, maybe that'll boost him up. Third line, Kaloran, Strome, Vetrano. Fourth, Colangelo, Svechkov, and Leeson. Defensively here, you got Mintyukov, Zellweger, top pair. Mintyukov's at 90 now. I'm hoping Zellweger play on the top pair with him. He starts to pop off as well. Fowler, Lindgren second, with Gavrikov, Lacombe on the bottom. I did notice one thing. Every single one of our defensemen's left-handed. Hopefully, it doesn't really matter too much in the sim. Gibson there, even after an incredible, you know, bounce-back year, still only 85, but that's okay, I guess. Dostal as well kept his 80 rating. AHL team actually ended up just going with Suchanik there as a starter. He's now at 77. Claire there, 69. You'd like a bit higher backup, but he is 6'6", so it's something. First line here in the AHL, Harkins, Geeky, Corey Perry. Behind them, you can see we got a lot more mid-70s now, so AHL team hopefully won't be embarrassing. Defensively as well, all, you know, mid to high 70s. The chemistry is pretty terrible. I was playing with it too. Like, it's tough to get anything better than this, so I think I just decided to go, you know, based on the ratings rather than the chemistry for that. Again, nowhere to go but up for the AHL team after finishing a dead last in the league. Now, before we do end the episode, guys, I'll show our ratings to start next season. So we've got 91 offense now with 89 defense, 84 goaltending. Very excited to see what will happen in year number 2. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.